Awesome. I am live. What's this one? All right, let's adjust. Awesome. Hey, everyone. Moderation helps everyone feel safe, close. Awesome. Let's tell friends that we are live. Can we share this? Absolutely. It's really interesting. All right. I am live. Starting. Okay. Awesome, everybody. How are you? Good evening. It's your girl, Coach E. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And guys, feel free to drop in the chat if you have any questions, but I encourage you to listen. I may cover some of your questions during this presentation, but I am so happy to be here today. This is one of the things that I enjoy to do. Thank you, Shanter. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lancaster. Hey, love. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can quickly answer these messages and we will get started. I have some few things that I want to share with you guys. I hope it's gonna be beneficial. Okay, I think I can catch up with it. It's a lot of messages, but anyway, I want to share with you guys everything around Diagnostic Lab. Okay, thank you. Miss Universe, thank you all so much. Thank you. I can read your messages, I can see everything. So just keep showing me this love. It just, encourages and just keeps me going. As much as I want to share with you guys, the reason behind this all sharing or coming live today is because I'm a consultant and I help a lot of individuals. And so people come to me as a trusted person and they ask me questions and they take everything that I tell them for true. And that is because they trust the process, they trust me, they've seen my reviews and all that. So it just encourages me to keep going and, share as I go. Also, because some of you, ask questions and a one line response might probably not help. One line response, through chatting and all that. And some people can't afford a one-on-one consultation, or some people just want something free before they commit, before they put their money into this thing. So I decided to come here today to share with you. So I hope you guys will benefit and also enjoy this. Okay. First of all, what is diagnostic lab? What is a diagnostic lab testing or business? If you ask me, a diagnostic lab business is simply where a business where we collect specimen, different types of specimen for testing. Some people use the testing for personal use. Some people use it for employment. Some people use it for so many reasons. The major ones in the diagnostic industry is clear, which is point of care testing, whereby people will come to you. You can do rapid tests like same day testing. You would need your clear certificate, CLIA certificate. You can go ahead and look that up later, and you will need that certificate to collect specimen. Another type of services that we also offer here is drug testing, which can be used for both pre-employment or personal. We also collect specimen for blood draw, which can be used in diagnostic, right? Blood actually is used in diagnostic because when a doctor writes you a prescription to get your blood drawn because you're seeing a doctor for something, right? It would need your blood work so that it can properly diagnose you. So when you think of diagnostic, is whereby we collect specimen for diagnosing and treatment, right? So diagnostic is, it's just like when your car breaks down and you take it to the car shop, they have to diagnose the car to see what's going on before they can start to repair. So apply that same knowledge into drug testing or into diagnostic business testing, I mean. So your doctor before it can diagnose you, you need to get some blood work. So that is how we come in play. So you can take this business into anywhere that you want to take it to, honestly. Also, we also offer leg testing. We offer ink fingerprints. We offer so many types of services in this, but it falls under a diagnostic lab. Now, when we, so as you can see, that's the umbrella that we all fall under. So you as a business owner can decide, you know what, I want to focus on this, I want to focus on that. So because we have arrays of services that we have the ability or the possibility to offer. So our top tier services are drug testing, which you guys probably commonly known as DOT and the non-DOT. The DOT is the Department of Transportation. They are the departments or the agencies that regulate the drug testing, right? And the non-DOTs are just every other businesses because it's required of them to comply. So, drug testing is actually a requirement for every workplace in America. It's actually a law, it's an act. I don't know the year, but it's an act for workplace environments, meaning that every work organization or every workplace in America, anywhere at all, needs to be drug free. The reason is for safety and all that great stuff. I mean, some of you have, in one time or the other, done a drug test for employment reasons. So that's how that comes in play. Now, there are some agencies that falls within the DOT, Department of Transportation. We will talk about all that later because I don't want to bore you too much with that. But just to give you an overview of the top tier services that we can possibly offer in this business, okay? So that's drug testing. Another one is DNA. DNA is also diagnostic. Okay. If you look at DNA, you're collecting specimen from the mouth, which is also the buccal swab. You collect those specimen. You take it to an advanced lab. So those type of labs are accredited labs, which are the accredited body for the DNA diagnostic testing is AABB. Such labs, you can't just test. A toxicology, which is a drug testing lab, does not necessarily have to test for DNA. So they have two types, right? We have the toxicology, which is the drug testing, and we have the accredited lab, which is for the diagnostic for DNA. So bear in mind those things. So DNA, also again underneath DNA, we have arrays of types of DNA that you can offer, such as paternity, maternity, ancestry DNA. We have infidelity, we have pet, immigration. Again, there are arrays of types of DNA that you can choose. We've talked about the CLEAR, which is your point of care testing that allows you to offer same day testing like an urgent care. So, for example, some people, when they have symptoms, like flu symptoms, cold like symptoms, or a little bit of ache here and there, you rapidly go to urgent care because you're looking for same day results, same day diagnostic. What is wrong with me? I'm coughing, I'm not feeling well. Instead of you going through your doctor in the morning or anything, you go to an urgent care. And immediately when you go to the urgent care, everything they do with you at the urgent care centers are always rapid. In an urgent care center, they offer point of care testing, point of care, right there, same day. So, for example, if you have flu, let's say you have flu like symptoms. We don't know if it's flu. We wouldn't know until we test for flu. Sometimes it could be strep throat, it could be anything. But we start with that testing, then the doctor will be able to diagnose you. So this is why we call this business a diagnostic lab, which falls under, like I said, arrays of umbrellas or services. Let's quickly go back into drug testing. Let me tie that into diagnostic, how it's diagnostic. I mentioned to you that drug testing is not only for pre-employment or for employment. We also have urinalysis. Sometimes when you go to your doctor, they do not only take your blood, they sometimes ask you to pee in the cup, right? Because they can do some urinalysis right there. So again, these whatever we do in this industry, it's all considered clinical, diagnostic, You, as the business owner, you decide what you can do or what you enjoy to do or what you want to do. How much money do you want to make? How do you want to take this business to the next level? And that's where I come in here today, because I am thinking from a business perspective. Now that I've given you an overview, you've seen a lot, you've seen, at least have an idea of what are the things that you can possibly do. Let's quickly, before I give you the business portion, also lead testing. For some of you have probably seen or hear me every day. I talk about lead, how I make this money, that's money. Again, lead is some sort of sample. With the type of lead that we do, it's a finger stick. Again, we're trying to collect sample, blood sample, right, through the finger. Some of you have friends that are diabetic, or you personally have experiences with diabetic. Again, finger stick, trying to get some sort of specimen to diagnose, to get your sugar level. Once you have your sugar level, you can determine if your sugar level is high or low. And in clinical word, when you have a high blood sugar, you probably have diabetic, right? So that's how diagnostic work. So you obtain specimen to diagnose. When you then diagnose, what do? You treat. That's what healthcare simply is. So you, as a business owner, where do you want to fit? Where do you want to fit? How do you want to place your business? How do you want to place your clinic? What is it that you want to do? How do you want to turn all of these opportunities into business? That's where and what I want to talk about today. Because again, some people just don't have that basic knowledge, or even the big, it doesn't have to be big. All you need is a tiny seed. Look, when you plant a seed, then it starts to germinate. The seed is what I'm trying to plant into you guys today. Just having a little bit of understanding, because sometimes when you don't understand what you're doing, you can't do it well. When you don't have an understanding of what you do or what you're about to do, it won't just make sense to you. And if something don't make sense to you, you can't deliver. So that is what I'm trying to do today, to plant a bit of seed to you guys, in you guys today, so that you can, when you're approaching this business, when you're jumping into this thing, you would have a better understanding. Because again, some of you just came across this opportunity on Facebook. Some of you might be hearing me for the first time today. Some of you have been doing your research but still cannot connect the dot. It just still doesn't make sense to you. So again, approach this with a bit of understanding and take it from there. So what do you want to do in this industry? How do you want to make the money? How do you want to place your business so that it can be profitable? So like I said, as you can see, some of you are also nurses, right? You have a clinical background, or some of you are even medical assistants. Some of you are phlebotomy. You have been, or you have some sort of experience working with a doctor, or in a doctor's office, or in a clinic, or even have zero knowledge. And just so you know, just because you don't have any clinical background doesn't mean you can't run this business effectively. The best way that I think, and I also know, is that you have to leverage. Leverage could mean many things. What is leverage? Leverage could mean that because you don't have a clinical background doesn't mean you can't run this clinical background. The more clinical you are, the more services you have. Like, for example, let's go back a little bit, just a little bit. Let's say you want to dive into clinical. Let's say you want to dive into clinical, right? You want to dive into clinical. And if you want to dive into clinical, make it make sense. Some of you want to do COVID test, rapid test, flu test, strep test, all that same day testing like a mini clinic, but you don't even have the ability to take insurance. How do you think you can make money? The six figure that I'm referring to when I say lead testing, the reason why we're able to make so much or such a type of profit margin is because we are able to take Medicaid, right? Because kids, let's start with lead testing. Do you think this parents will leave, will rather come to, like, not like, do you think they would come to me and want to pay cash, like come to us and want to pay cash because they are rich? A lot of times you got to make your business or your services make it make sense. So here's what I'm going. I'm just gonna keep going. I won't confuse you too much. So with point of care testing, say you want to have clinical, because I've seen some of you, you've reached out to me. Oh, I would like to do point of care testing. I would like to offer COVID tests. I would like to offer, and these services are so lucrative because every day people are testing there in the clinic. They are in a point of care testing clinic. They are in a rapid clinic, or looking for someone, a doctor or a nurse practitioner that can quickly prescribe medicine for them because they're not feeling well. That is what we define as healthcare. Healthcare is so lucrative that it does not matter. It's the number of accumulation, and there are so many codes that you will use when it comes to Medicaid. It depends on the services and your code. What are you? What your billing? You have to talk with your biller. That's billing and coding there. So what did you test for? Like for example, if you do flu test, reimbursement could be around $60. And when we know that your clinic is open, like you're really functioning, like you're doing it, you're the way you're supposed to do it, you will have a lot of clients coming in and you billing Medicaid. So it's the setup. A lot of you want to start business, but you're not starting it well. You're not doing it the way you're supposed to do it. How do you want to compete with an urgent care? You have to make it make sense. So that's what I'm just trying to say. Some of you just have to set it right. You can't be setting it here only. If you have all these ideas, you have to birth those ideas and see, let us see. Let other people see. You are the only one that sees your vision. So some of you will do it, want to start a business, but you're not setting up properly. Some of you will say you want to start with mobile, but you are not even a go-getter. You can't even get up to even go to anywhere. You're like overwhelmed already. So if you want to have a clinic, you can go ahead and have a clinic, but set it up correctly. Make sure you have a nurse practitioner there that can work 24 hours and they can help so people can come in and stop by when she writes the medicine, because that's what people are looking for. They will give you the insurance. You will check to make sure they have an active insurance, that they are active members, and that they have the coverage, active coverage on the day of service. You build like that. That's how you grow a clinical business, if you want me to say that. Now, for drug testing, let's delve a little bit. For drug testing, what type of drug testing do you want to do? Do you want to cater to DOT? Some of you are doing drug testing for pre-employment and you're not always cognizant or conversant of the people you're supposed to market to. With drug testing, you have to be able to identify your client. Not everybody that you see on the street that you're going to give your business card. It doesn't work that way with drug testing. That is why it is different stroke for different folks. What you use for this doesn't apply for that. So you have to also know what works and what you want to truly do. That is the reason why some people don't set it up properly and they're not getting it. Okay. So we say for drug testing, you have to target who? You have to target the employers, because they are the ones for the DOT, for pre-employment. They are the ones that will buy the drug testing that you're selling. They are the ones that will need what you're selling. So you have to really place it to make it make sense. What about DNA? You see us a lot of times. We market DNA. How are you marketing your DNA? Whom are you targeting? How are you reaching out to individuals that needs DNA? And in DNA, there are so many different types. One is gender review. When we are doing gender review, whom are you talking to for gender review? Who are you supposed to? Somebody should drop it in the chat if you know. So everything has to do with target based. And a lot of times, the final thing is that consistency. Some of us, we are not consistent. In any business that you do, the first 2 years are always the most difficult because nobody knows about your business. Nobody knows that you're existing. So you have a lot of work to do in the beginning. It's like a child. When you newly have a baby, you know how much work you would do, even with sleepless nights, because the baby still depends on you. But by the time they start to grow, your work has lessened. It's the same way with business. Some people want to get in the business today and they want to make the money today. It does not work that way. So some of us, then we get discouraged, we stop being consistent. And you will hear people in life say, go and talk to the people that you like, that you see that, oh, they make money. Go and ask them if they weren't consistent. Consistency is what matters in no business. Don't be discouraged, and don't, because again, the reason is because people don't know you from nowhere. Your business was brand new, was a new LLC, brand new LLC. So it requires you to continuously market your services to the right people. And at one point, it's very short time, you will begin to grow. Everything comes with growth. They will begin to like what you say. You will begin to master the right script. You will begin to master the right people. You will begin to identify the right opportunity when you see them. Then you begin to grow from there. Because this industry, if you think this industry doesn't make money or doesn't work, why do we have Quest today? Why do we have LabCorp today? Why do we have all these businesses today? They should have been bankrupt or folded or foreclosed or something. So there is something in this. But what I encourage or what I would say to new people is that pick 3 to 4 services that you are very good at. Phlebotomy is also very lucrative if you really know how you go about it. And always source for your own contract. Always look for your contract. That's how businesses grow. Don't always rely on collection. A lot of times people come here because they see specimen collector training course. It's for $99. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. And that's what I want to do. And they want a big result. How can let's all really be sincere. I've seen a lot of successful people today. What I hear them say is consistency and making it make sense. Make it make sense. DOT specimen collector is not the only thing that you need to really run a business like that. It's a certification course that is on its own right there. It doesn't have anything to do with business startup or strategy or setup or anything like that. It's just one of the requirements for drug testing. It doesn't have anything to do with your business marketing, business client acquisition, business development, or even operating a business in a day to day. Okay, so we have all those things right there. And I say in the beginning, when you're starting, pick what? Pick at least 3 to 4 services, which could be DNA, which could be drug testing, which could be blood draw, which could be DOT physical. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. We have close to 20, I'm not lying, close to 20 services that you guys can offer. But I don't recommend, and that's the thing, a jack at all is a master at none. When we all come, so I want to begin to change people's narrative. Okay, let's really concentrate on that. For example, group owned providers. Do you see them do anything else? That's the only thing they do, and they make the money that's the numbers that you want to hear. They don't do group home. It will be too much for them, and they will end up not doing anything. It will be too much for them. So let's be a focus. Let's have a niche that people can say, oh, go to her. Go to this lab. They'll do this here. Go to this lab. They will do this here for you. You don't want to be the one that will offer this and you won't be able to do everything. So I want you to know that there are so many opportunities, but then you have to pick what you want to do and do it very well. Because the way that you're going to market DNA is different from the way that you're going to market what? Drug testing is different from the way that you're going to market your other services. Okay? If you guys have comments, continue to drop it in the chat. Let me deviate a little bit. Let me deviate a little bit. So let me talk about training programs, especially like what are the types of benefits that some programs may offer. Let me see if I can pull. Where am I going to get that information from? And this is digression. If this works, that'll be good. So I'm coming like this one here. So we talked about pre-employment. And for those of you that wants to do mobile lab services, like mobile, how do you thrive in being a mobile vendor? Let's talk about that because some people like to start things small, like they just want to start small. I want to try it. I want to be mobile. For you to be successful in mobile or with a mobile business, what do you think you guys should be able to do? Your mobile business, just because you don't have an overhead, does not mean you can't have a very great website. Does not mean you should not have an online presence, because when people are looking for things, the first place they go to is Google. Just because you're mobile, let's find you, let's see that you're sophisticated in what we see, because people are gravitated with what they see. If it's not appealing, if it's not nice, if it's nothing, people that's just human being. That's the way God has made us. If it is not attractive, we're not key to that. So everything starts with your website, the way that you brand yourself. That's what we call packaging. Is the way that you brand yourself. You may be this small, but it's the way that you say you are. People want to see those confidence, the what you're saying. So when you say you're mobile, guys, have an online presence, have a very good website that is well detailed and thorough, and also have that passion to talk to people. So a lot of you also will come and say, how there is a drug test, how do we do this when we go there? So because you want to do mobile testing, how you will do that is you are going to ask your client. Say for example, a client comes to you and they need drug testing. You can do drug testing in client's home. You can do it because everywhere that you go has a bathroom. As long as you're providing privacy, you are not making noise. You only have 4 minutes to collect a sample, a drug test sample. So there are so many ways you can do your business and make your money, especially for those of you that are saying you want to be mobile. So you have to have that mobile in your head and be able to see it. So see it too. You need your moving cart. You need to have something to move around with. Few supplies here and there in your little box. Like this lead testing that has fetched me a lot of money has always been mobile. I've never had to do leg testing in my office. We were employed or we were hired or we were contracted as a mobile lab vendor. And we go everywhere. You will see my supplies, almost close to 200 supplies. We have it already ready set up and it's mobile. We go on site, we administer the test, we out. No overhead cost, nothing, and we are going and we are making money guaranteed on each event, close to 10, 15,000, just like that. And it's mobile. So it's the way that you put it in your mind. Is how you put it in your mind. Don't be lazy when you say you're mobile. Mobile means that you will have everything. The only thing you don't have is the overhead. So people don't know that. The only thing you don't have is overhead. So say they need a drug test. You go to the bathroom that they have. There are ways that you do mobile testing. You use your bluing tablet. That's how you secure the bathroom. You will secure the bathroom. Hello, Tan. I see you. It's Townsend. So you would what? You will use that thing to secure your bathroom. Give them the cup. Give them the instruction. Get the cup because they're only pink. You don't even when you have an office space. Are you going to with them in the bathroom? No, you're not going with them. So always be confident in everything that you do. Confidence also plays a role. Some people are not just confident. They just don't. They can't. I don't know. I think confidence sometimes fear. Fear will stop you from doing a lot of things that you're supposed to do. So give them this space, give them this cup, tell them to pee in the cup, get what you need to do your paperwork, you're done and you get paid. That's how most of these things works for drug testing. How about for DNA? You can partner with a lot of immigration lawyer, some OBGYN company, funeral homes. There are so many ways to administer DNA, and there are so many reasons people are getting DNA tested. Family courthouse. One of us in this industry got a contract with the Department of Health and Human Services. Family and Health, HHS or something, Human and Health Services. Is it Human and Health? She got a contract with them or everything they do again. So most of the services, when you have a contract, 9 out of 10 times they're going to be mobile services. Trust me. So because they are big contracts, you're serving a lot of clients, so they would make it remote in a way that you guys would just be having an event. It depends on the dynamics of the contract. Anyway, I'm just speaking from experience. So she got this contract to serve clients for child custody. For what else do they do? Child custody and all that, all these family related issues, for divorce and all that. It's a family department, government department. And she do the test, she gets some money. And these are always in volumes and volumes. And these are the type of contract you can see. Quest, all these other labs are not going to fight this contract with you. So that's how you have to place your business, by you identifying the opportunities. So one thing that is always missing is identifying the proper opportunity, where to even turn to. Some of you just market, you see people on the street, you talk to them. That's not how you're not doing an effective marketing by doing that. You have to be able to identify the opportunities and go for them. Okay, so let's see. Lab accounts. Some of us also suffer, especially in this industry now. These days, things have changed. I need to quickly say that things have changed in the last few years. When you are now a newbie or a new business in this industry, you would need let's so before I say that, let me quickly let you know that without a lab account, you can't really do well when you're doing drug testing because lab account, especially for drug DOT drug test, it is regulated in such a way that every test that you do needs to be processed in the lab. With DOT, you can't do rapid test. You can't do anything else. It has to go through to process regulated, which is standard, which is law or regulation. That's the policy. How about we use those words so you can understand? So you need to take the specimen in a certain type of cup. You need to send it to the lab for the lab to process. The lab, when the result comes, they need to release the result to the medical review officer, the doctor. They need to do that to the doctor. I'll talk about that, Lydia. So you would need to send that to the MRO. The MRO will then release the result to you. So you need a lab account. So say for example, you went to Walmart, a new manager is there because things change. That's why we say consistency. You've been talking to this Walmart for the past 3 months or 6 months, nothing. And the person that you've been talking to left, and you happen to have a new manager. And the new manager is looking for ways to make his life easier because he's new. He needs to change. He was hired for a reason, for a change. You are going to be part of the change. You go talk to him. He likes what you do. You're going to bring convenience to them. You make his processing or his onboarding process easier. They contract you, and you are going to be the one to service and do their onboarding testing for them. So you have to be, that's why consistency comes. A lot of businesses are here today always looking for us because we are part of their business process. For example, trucking company. Trucking company, one of their requirements is to always do random testing. It is to always do pre-employment testing. It is always to do a return to duty testing, like all of those testing. And every of the employee will always fall in each or one of the categories. Either they are hiring for pre-employment or they need to be randomly tested because it's a requirement, or somebody got in trouble and they need to do a return of duty again. So a new company, a new trucking company, because a trucking company wants to be a trucking company. And a trucking company cannot be a trucking company without drug testing because that is a part of the requirement for trucking company. So that is why anything that you do, you will be consistent. And you look, the way God has made this life is that when you're consistent, I give it to you. How about that? So you that have been consistent in your business for years, God will just bless you with what you have been consistent with. It's like weight loss. You've been trying to lose weight and you're consistent in what you eat or you're exercising, you just get the results. So that is life. So if you can approach life that way, you'll be successful in anything that you do. Anything, regardless of what I'm teaching you or saying to you today. Anything, because you were consistent. And that's the result of consistency, by getting results. Finish. How about we go home today? And if that's the only thing you can take away from this message today, because that is life. But a lot of us don't want to go through that part. And I'm not going to be that coach to sugarcoat you things. However, there are some things that I can confidently tell you to jump on. DNA is one of them. Immigration DNA, like I don't really, if I have not made money like in 2 months, if I do want immigration, it covers ups for those things. And I know how to identify those clients when they begin to call, because I conveniently can charge them what I need to charge them because I understand the rubrics. I understand how it works. And I've given you guys those education about it. And I've told you why I was able to justify why I'm able to say, yes, give me 1,000, I'll do your DNA. And I've been paid multiple times $1,000 for immigration. And I've given you guys that concept. But a lot of you don't even want to do it or even don't or still understand how to do it. It only takes you to do it. It doesn't take anything else to do it. So it's the same concept for what? Immigration consultation. What, like those things are actually the ones that are my top money maker, if you allow me to say that. It is real. So let me quickly go back. I'm going to dive here to Lydia's question because I have a few things that I might still share. But let me know if you guys have questions. So Lydia said, how would you obtain a DNA from a deceased person who has been embalmed? Trust me. Embalm, I don't know. But if okay, so if they were embalmed, that means you kind of have to obtain their maybe it's their femur. There are so many ways you can obtain that, but I don't want to give you a false information. By the time you go in Alliance portal, there is a huge video training that you can listen to that will tell you exactly how disease, because disease is also considered a legal test if you're trying to test a diseased person. Because why would you want to test somebody that is dead? It's going to be for legal reasons, maybe for maybe the person died and he didn't write his will, and he has a lot of properties, a lot of things that he wants his children to what is the one word I'm looking for? Somebody, if you know the word that I'm looking for, please put it down there. But these are the reasons why you would do that. How would I get into forensic DNA? So you would get into forensic DNA if your lab offers that type of testing. So every lab has their protocol. When it comes to DNA, you have to choose the lab that you want to work with. Like I've been hearing a lot of feedback now these days that some labs are not even letting some people do immigration testing. And I don't blame those labs, because immigration testing is not just any out test. It's actually a legal court admissive test. So some labs are curtailing who they give those access to, because some people don't know how to properly do legal testing. And that's where the money is. So you have to choose your lab. Be very careful when you have to choose your lab. You really have to choose your lab when it comes to DNA. And that's why when I teach, I stick with one guy, because they give me everything that I need, especially the immigration DNA testing. Majority of these labs don't. Even the big one, the DNA guys, the DDC guy, DDC, yeah, that's their name. They don't let us do immigration testing. They don't. But some of us, when we come into this industry, the first thing we want to do is, oh, I want to do collection for DNA, for DDC. They keep asking for DDC. Like that's like, how can't you be your own DDC? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, just try to make money. Just try it. And you'll begin to see that it's easier. The it does not apply. Anytime you collect specimen, especially for drug testing or DNA, it does not apply. But some blood draw, it depends on the blood that you're drawing, especially like for what is this one? There are some blood draw they want us to invert, they want us to put it in the fridge. Again, depending on the type of test they want to do it for. So be very careful of the type of testing and samples that you're collecting. But I know for sure if you collect the urine, it does not do anything to urine. It does not do anything to the DNA. It don't do, but for blood for sure, depending on the test. Okay, so somebody said, okay, so Chanter said you should use a cooler for blood testing, and the other person wants you to use, so he's saying that they use the hair swab for the embalmed. Again, different protocol, different processes for each lab. We only have 9 labs that are accredited in America to do testing, DNA testing. Okay, so these are the type of questions I want to see, like a day-to-day type of activities in the lab. So I like these things, keep them coming, because I really want to cater to you guys. I don't necessarily have to be talking about what I already know or what I think you guys know. I would rather want to hear from you guys. So somebody should gear us in the way they want us to go. So, but yeah, for the embalmed, new pest said is here. I'm not certain. I'm scared of this. I can't even. When my nephew died, when we went to the funeral home, I didn't sleep. So for the 9 labs, what you can do, I know Universal, we have Alliance. We don't even Alliance is not actually part of them. It's Alliance is called Endeavor. So we have Endeavor, we have DDC, we have Universal. It's 9 of them, right? But what you can do if you want the list right now, just go on aabb.org. It's gonna show you all the list of every accredited labs, and you will find them by their addresses too. Some are in China, some are in all over, but you will see the ones in America. Yes. So DNA testing is very good, guys. I want you guys to look into DNA testing. It could just be, you found it, aabb.org. Let me put it here, aabb.org. Okay. No. Hey, BB. So, like, what was I getting ready to say? like you guys don't just have to come here and do everything. Like it could just be DNA and drug test and grow from there. Because if it's too, especially when you're new, you're still learning a lot of things, you won't be able to do everything. That's what I begin to see. So you're welcome. So let's start to think of the things that we want to do and how we want to go about it. Does anyone have any question? I feel like I don't know if I'm missing anything. What else do I feel like I want to talk about the diagnostic lab? Your supplies. So sometimes, okay, let's keep, thank you, Gabriel. Let's go into drug testing startup a little bit, because a lot of people are still struggling when it comes to drug testing. I was getting ready to say that you need your lab account, you need everything. Now when you reach out to the labs are not these days just setting accounts up as they used to do in the past. Like in the past, when you reach out to the labs via email, they will be more than glad to open your account, send you supplies in less than a week. A lot of supplies. When I say supplies, I mean cups, FedEx bags, FedEx prepaid hair bills, this and that, everything that you need. Because they are believing centrifuge. I've seen a $30 centrifuge on Amazon, and it works very well, but it's small, and you can start with that. And if you go in the group, Mary in the past has linked a centrifuge, the exact brand that she's using. What about Peekaboo DNA? Peekaboo is good, especially if you know a lot of event planner, and some OBGYNs be referring people to us. You know why? OBGYNs, the insurance don't cover early gender review, and you can't do a sonogram until you're 20 weeks. And a lot of girls just want to know if they say that they can afford it. And not just because they can afford it. Some of them already have multiple kids and they're just looking for a particular gender. They don't want to have another girl if they already have girls. They don't want to have another boy. So they're always looking. And even in some religion, I've seen a lot of Islam come to me again, because again, so like I said, you have to identify opportunities. How would you even think a religion has anything to do with gender review? And it happens. It's actually a thing. you know Muslims, there is this particular Muslim parent. They came to me because they've been having a lot of girls. So they wanted to know, are we having another girl? Because, so like, it's just, again, and you will see that people are always just on the internet. They don't know about you. But the moment you have that thing, you know how to properly put your business on the map. Once you come up like that in their feed, when they go on your website, they like what they see, you get the business. So that's why we have to do a little bit of work on online presence, such as websites, Google, and all that. So let me go back to lab accounts. And so with the lab account, the labs are cracking, right? They won't just give you those things that we needed or that they usually would do in the past. So they need you to have some sort of business credit. The reasoning is because when they start to send the supplies in, people don't send it back on time. People don't even use the supply. They don't have business, so they're not using supplies. So the supplies is just thank you, Nupex. So the supply is just sitting there. They're not using it. So that's why the labs, these days, you know what? You guys are gonna have to prove that you guys are credible. You've been in business for more than a year, and that you can produce this. So they go check your credit, and they don't say that your business is doing some sort of business transaction, some sort of credit. They don't give you the lab account. So that's another thing that you guys need to work on. When you start your business, you can start to get some credit cards with Amazon, or even with Uline. Even Googling search or following some financial credit expert, they will give you some few ways to set up or to build a business credit. And it only takes less than 2 months to build a credit. Okay, because without the lab account, you can't really offer a drug testing, especially for DOT, and you need a lab account. So let's say you were doing non-DOT, and with the regulation, if you happen to have a positive DOT, non-DOT drug test, you need to send it to the lab for confirmation. So you still need to have a lab account either way as a drug testing service provider. Okay, so let's be very mindful of that. Although my coaching program offers help in assisting newcomers or new businesses that don't have business credit, there is a way we can help you to set up your business account. So for Clear, very great question, Plum. Very, very great question. I like that. For Clear, You don't need an MRO. MRO is only applicable to DOT drug test. The MRO is the medical review officer, and they are the ones that the lab will send your result to because that's the DOT regulation. So when you do a DOT test, you use it, you send it to the lab releases the result to the MRO because that's the guideline. Just like you and I, before we can do drug testing, we have to take the specimen collector training. So for the clear, it depends on your states. Some states they require that you have a doctor as the lab director. Some you can just be your own lab director. So depending on your state, but MRO simply is just for drug testing. And nothing to worry. When you have an MRO, when you need an MRO, the lab will provide you with a list of MRO. So you don't even need to find a doctor. So a lot of times, some people are always asking, I'm looking for a doctor. What is your approach? Which lab are you talking to? Because the lab should be giving you a list of MROs. They were losing a lot of money, Lydia. The labs, you know what FedEx prepaid hair bills, like that alone is already prepaid. And they send like multiples, like as much as you want, they send those to you. The cups, the bags, your customized chain of custody, those forms, the CCF forms, they print your name, they print your business name on there. It's a lot of up cost money, and they send those things to you, and you're not using it. You're not sending back specimen to the lab. It's a waste of money. So they stop doing those things. So now it's very hard for people to get in. That's why immediately as a consultant, I had to find a way out. So we have a temporarily or even permanent, depending on the client, a way to get you guys the account. But it's really crazy. Okay. But yeah. So for the clear, you use your state's guide, you get your application, get it ready for approval, they approve it. Like Alabama, Pennsylvania, California, you need more than an high school person to be the lab director. For Pennsylvania, you need a doctor, like a medical doctor that has gone to school for 8 years, that has a medical or medicine background. But for every other state, like if you have an high school, if you're a nurse, or if you're a phlebotomist or a medical assistant, you can be your own lab director. So CLEAR is always state by state. State by state. So I hope Plum that helps you. So when you're reaching out to the lab, they give you the MRO list. And again, MRO is no wrong or right. The only reason you have to just thoroughly look through the notes or the list is that you want to shop for the cheapest fees. Some MROs don't have some certain things. Some MROs will ask you that you need to fax in. Some of you, if you don't have a fax number, that might be a problem. Some MRO can take you to some MRO will allow you to email the list to them. The second page, I don't know if you guys already know what I'm talking about. Like if you are doing drug testing, the regulation says fax in the second page to the MRO. So if you don't have an MRO, you have to have an MRO anyway. So, but how do you want to get those things to the MRO? The document. So be very mindful. You're just shopping for the ones that have the cheapest fees, and you're also shopping for the ones that is very convenient. Some MROs takes about a week to give you your results. That's not what you want. You want to know or ask for their turnaround time. Yeah, absolutely. So keep those questions coming. We have few more minutes. I plan to spend an hour. So we have few more minutes. Let me see if I can deviate a little bit into securing client. We talked about that. Clients, we've talked about ink fingerprint. I don't know if you guys are interested in ink fingerprint. Ink fingerprint or even live scan itself. That has a lot to do with immigration consultation. And if that's what I want to talk about today, because this is all diagnostic, advanced training in marketing. So client acquisition. Yes, it will be okay. When you say all businesses, do you mean to say all services, Ronisha? Because services are different from businesses. Like, say, if you have a home care business and you have a lab business and you have a notary business, be very careful. Do you mean to say all your services under your insurance? Provide me a clarity on that, Ronisha, and I'll get to your question. Blessed asks, how do you find a building to work out of temp? How do you find a building to work? Oh, I like that. Let me tell you guys, there was this time I tried to downgrade a little bit. I try to downgrade. I did something. I wanted to see if I can save money by downgrading. I actually did, and I like the style that I did, but I went back. But this is how that ties to your question, blessed. Temporary, you can there's something we call shared office spaces. I don't know if you guys know, like them virtual spaces. No, is it virtual? No, like there are some businesses, they rent out a lot of space and they are doing it shared spaces per hour. You can use those. That's what I did. After my lease elapsed in a year, I switched into paying per hour and paying as I go, and it worked so well. So what I did, I went on my website and I blocked all the hours and kept 1 hour always open a week ahead of time. So customers, when they go on my website, oh, this is the only day they happen, they adjust to the schedule. So that's how that works. Customers will always adjust to your schedule. This is, if they can't, then they will call you because they really need it. Then you guys start to talk about few things here and there. So that's what I did. I adjusted my schedule. I blocked out the days and the hours that I can go in, and I pay per hour. So there are so many businesses that have shared opportunity space. You guys can actually run your business like that. I actually run my business and I made a lot of money because I wasn't paying my monthly rent and I was just paying per hour. And per hour in a very small, because they have different suites. They have tiny, they have the big conferences depending on what you're looking for. And I was just paying $7 for an hour. It pays them because you imagine it, they're making $7 every hour. So I block all the time 2 hours for my business. And it worked out so well for me. So I hope that takes care of your question. Um that's for blessed. And Ramisha wants to know insurance. So let's say I was just gonna give you answer for both. If you have all your businesses, yes, you can, not under one policy, because if it is under one policy, I don't even think the insurance company will let you put all the same businesses. It is very risky because, especially if they have different names. If they have the same name, then yes. So that question is gonna go for your insurance company. But if it's in different names, I don't think it makes sense because of what do you think insurance is for? When you guys have a lawsuit or any kind of problems, or any, if you have to pay somebody out or something just happened, somebody fell, or you need to be covered or something, insurance is for coverage. You want to cover the right business. So the business that got in trouble is what they will cover. And if you're operating under this business name and they are not on the coverage, you don't get covered. So be very careful because insurance plays a role in what we do, especially as we dealing with human beings collecting, and we are service provider. We need definitely insurance. Oh, very easy, Sia. How do you do the drug test with that share space? Oh, that's actually what I do the most. I do blood draw. I was surprised that I was able to run it because I was desperate and I needed to save money. I wanted to see something because I wouldn't know if I didn't do it. So they have a bathroom. It's the same. It's just like your office space too, but you're just paying per hour. So when you pay them for an hour, they respect you for an hour. So if they have a bathroom space per DOT, let's say you're in a shared bathroom space, you just walk down the hall with them, you stay outside because you're monitoring from that point, you're not observing. And when they finish the specimen, the same thing that I would do in my shared office space, I'm going to do the split collection right there. Because again, drug testing is only 3 minutes. Give them the cup because they can't spend more than 3 minutes. Because if they do, you're going to have to cancel the test. So it's very easy. I wonder how people don't know that. So you give them the cup, tell them to pee right there in the cup. Immediately you secure the specimen, do what you have to do. You already have your gloves, discard everything, take the specimen with you, go bag it up and send it to the lab. And you guys, and you do it's not hard because you're only doing it for 3 minutes. The maximum is 4. After 4, you can't use that specimen. So it's the same thing. If it's a DNA, you sit them in your office, you collect the specimen. The only one that is a little bit is the drug testing. And honestly, my drug testing, I coordinate everything in the bathroom. The only thing I don't do is the paperwork. So when we finish, when I secure the bathroom, when I secure the specimen in the bathroom, I put it in the clear bag that is going to the lab, and I bring it with me to the office and I finish it up. That's it. It's not really that hard. It's the same thing for mobile. So Lydia said, don't forget to have the emission and E and O. I think it's the emission and omission coverage. And all this coverage is not even that expensive. They are only it's a coverage you're only paying per year. And if you pay 3 years, you're also saving. And we usually use CM and F group. CM and F group is one of the cheapest ones that we have out there, and few other ones. So you can check in the group for coverage for insurance companies. Yes, Lydia, DDC is now 700. And a lot of people are paying that money, which is crazy. And I don't know why, because DDC would not even allow you to do immigration testing. So what is it that you're looking for? DDC is only selling their name now, just like Coach, Michael Kors, which are these other brands, they sell name. You know what I mean? So DDC now is asking people to pay 700 because again, they know why. People are not, when they set up the business, they are not sending in specimen. You that you can afford $700 in the beginning and you can't bring in $700 in a month or in a week, it doesn't make sense. So why are you even doing the business? I hope you guys will be able to recognize opportunities when you see them. Company to dispose are very easy. I think a girl asked for that question last week, so the answer is still in the group. All you just have to click on is type in the group. Always use the search bar, guys. Put biohazard company. You can even Google search biohazard company in my state, in your state, and it's gonna come up. But it's the answer, and I think 3 or 4 people responded. So that means it's a popular company. Let me see if I can find that post because it was a recent post. And it's biohazard company. Oh yes, Shanta right there. Shanta is on point. And Shanta is also a veteran, guys. She's been here forever. So she knows what she's talking about. And the site is the company is Stericycle for biohazard. So, Sia, I like that question. And let me know if that helps. It's just the same concept. You can go into this company, you can go into people home, you can go into these lawyer offices, you can go into these probation course systems to do drug testing. They don't necessarily have to come to you, and you don't need to go and get a big space because you're looking for a separate bathroom and get yourself in unnecessary cost, or to do a drug testing business. Honestly, always start small, and that's how I did. That's what I did. I have a very small space, and that's where we run everything, and it's doable. We maximized our profit margin because we didn't have to put everything on overhead space. Okay, so very doable, and pick it from there. So your space, the thing that you should invest in is your website. The thing that you should invest in is your website. Get you a professional to develop, to build you a website that is very, very beautiful, because people again will gravitate towards this, what they see. It's CM and F group. Yeah, they are good. Once you put that in Google, it's gonna come up. Let me see. What else haven't I talked about? Let me know, guys. I hope this helps a little bit for those of you that are looking to tap into this space but don't know what to do. Don't always, even if you start with being doing the drug testing, try to take it to the next level a little bit, because the certification is not everything or what you solely need for the business. You need way more than that. You need some sort of way to, you need your startup forms, you need a website, you need your payment processing. How do you guys intend to take payment? You don't necessarily, and now this payment processors like Square, you can give your patients the link. They can just pay with their card. That way you don't need to invest in a card, except if you begin to see that you're now making money, you're going places and places and places, and you need people to start tapping their card. Then you can get, even the Swipe has that little Swipe, Square, is it Swipe or Stripe, has that little thing you can put in your phone and they can swipe. Or if you can afford it, it's like $100, the POS that people can tap their cards and everything. So you just need those basic few things to set up, like a good website, your POS payment processor. God, I can't talk. The payment processor, your website, a flyer, your business card. And I also now start to think we all need to start putting on our uniform, not uniform, but like a shirt, a polo that has your business name. It's something that I don't talk about, and I think it's a good strategy because I see a lot of actually these days everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. So I see a lot of businesses, and it just starts by there. Put on your polo. Can you share a little bit about your event in Houston? Very, yeah, I can share. I just didn't want to come and sell anything to people. I just felt led to just give information. But we led with Houston workshop. I decided to have Houston because first you guys, I asked you guys to vote, and Houston has the most votes, so we are going to have it in Houston. And what I want to do is and you can, I also have posted this. If you go on my website, or even if you can ask me, I can send you the link. There is a breakdown. What I would do is that we're going to do the DOT drug test, because again, with hands on, seeing all these things, seeing how it plays, just helps a little bit more. And if you already have a DOT drug test certificate, what I want to do is then give you guys the opportunity to have your train the trainer. With train the trainer, you would be able to train people and even your staff, and also consider that as some sort of income. For those of you that knows how to talk a little bit and have confidence and can, reteach the content, you get the train the trainer, because I didn't want you to just come and not get anything. So I feel like I added that as a perk. So because most people, when they come to the industry, they've already have their DOT certificate. So if you're coming to Houston, you're gonna have the opportunity to get your train the trainer. Then I also had in the Houston, as a matter of fact, let me just pull that. If you can give me like a minute so I can pull and tell you exactly what you'll be getting from the Houston workshop. But it's a day event, and it's always a full day. We get to eat, we get to mingle. We will be doing the let me go find it. I don't want to guess because I just put it when I was. What is this? Where can I find it? Houston. Let me go on my Facebook page and I'll give it to you. Houston. Oh my gosh. I'm searching the wrong group. Okay. This is what you'll get out of the Houston experience, guys. What? You said I can. Does anyone have the Houston link? I don't know. It's not letting me. What else did I put in that package? Okay, I know where to go. Right there. Don't worry about it. The devil is a liar. Right here. What's going on? Okay. Houston, Texas workshop is 676, very affordable, 679. I made it because I want it to be affordable, because I also consider that people are gonna pay for their flights, pay for their stay, and all that. So everybody, like I said, if you're doing the DOT and you already have it, you have the opportunity to upgrade your certificate, which is the trainer that can also give you more money by training your staff, because again, everybody that works with you would need to be trained. That's the regulation. So you would have to save that money. By saving that money, you training them yourself. You don't have to pay no trainer. You can also use this as a passive sort of income to train people if you're interested and you know how to vocalize your stuff. Now we're also gonna do the DNA, which is just the general DNA that covers everything. And I'm also gonna throw my DNA immigration training as well. So you're getting two stuff, because DNA is DNA. And I also have the special training on immigration, and you will also be getting a certificate of completion on that. I'm also gonna help everybody in that space with the lab account, because again, labs are shutting down, they're not helping individuals, and it's just a hassle. And you can't do a business or a drug testing business without a lab account either way. So everybody also gets that. That's an additional perk right there. Everybody also gets to do the mock competency exam. Upon your satisfaction, everybody also get a certificate. Okay, and that mock, everybody gets a supply, full supplies for mock. Now, I'm also going to share a little bit of immigration consultation. Again, people don't know, so they don't know. They can't think of it because they don't know. I'm going to give you guys an overview of immigration consultation because a lot of you are actually interested, giving you those numbers and also making you see why you should tap into immigration services. Marketing is very critical, guys. After having set up all of these things, how do you get clients? It's not just clients. Which client buys what we sell? There is a proven formula that has been working that I've shared with a lot of students that have only in workshop. I don't share this formula anywhere else. So if you have been on my workshop and you're in this space, let us know. But it's a formula that works effectively. You all are going to get that formula on that day. I'm also going to dive into government contract and local business, just contract in general, so that you guys can begin to see that collection is not everything that we do here. You having 2, 3, or 4 contract is enough for you to get to 6 figures. So we're going to talk about contract and identifying those businesses to get your contract. As a bonus, I'm going to also help you guys in completing your clear applications. Some of you already have the application. For those of you that don't, it's a bonus. We're not paying for it. It's part of the program. And also, I'm going to give you guys 30 days access, free access to my ink fingerprint online. You don't want to miss that training. Those people that took the training, oh my gosh, some of the access went away. They went back and paid for that training again, okay? Because I finished. I was in the spirit. So when I teach like that, there are some things that are divine. So that day when I was teaching this ink fingerprint was really a good day. So yeah, every one of you also gonna get a 30 days access to that in class and another 5-day access to my online lead testing. You know, some of you want to do the lead. Lead is a little bit pricey. I think it's $300. And people, you know, what are you gonna put $300 on? Like, I'm not certain on what, I'm not going to spend my $300 on something that I'm not sure of. So you are also going to get the 5 days free access to my lead testing. That's a lot of things that I'm giving you guys for $675. And that's because I want you all to come and just get all of these things. It's an investment. Okay. And we're also going to network. We're also going to, meet with other like-minded individuals. We're going to take questions and we're going to eat and dine. So that's everything that we're going to do. I hope it's a great deal. It's actually a great deal. I put it out. I'm like, 679. And, it's just because I want people to be there. It's the end of the year. It's just another way to, put everyone together while we transition into new year, because I'm already in new year. I'm looking forward to 2025. I can't wait for 2025 because I have a whole lot, another 365 days to get it, so I want us all to be there. I want it to be affordable. So I put all of these things in the hope that you guys are gonna be in Houston. I want to meet with some of you guys. We just see here every day. Anytime I go for workshop or we have workshop like that, I always meet new people and it's always good. So yeah, it's 697. Wait, 691? I don't know the number. Let me go look. 667. Oh my gosh, 679. Okay. So yeah. So I hope I covered that question, y'all. Is the industry saturated? Listen, what does saturation mean to you? Saturation means it is good. Everybody wants to do it. And with this industry, it is not saturated. It depends on your location. Where are you located? And what type of services are you bringing to the table? So wherever you're located, Lydia, go do your feasibility study. Go around, drive around, Google search. That's how you do market analysis. Use some of the tools that I gave you in the mentorship. We actually have a tool that we use in mentorship to find out if an area is saturated. There is a tool that we use in mentorship. So use those tools to answer those things. It's actually 3 things. I gave you 2 for free already. So use those things and see if your area is good or not. Then the event is 679. I don't know what you mean, Roshana. Roshana means yes. Okay, services, yes. So if it is all services, then yes, you're good to go. You don't have any problem. So great deal. Yes. 10. Yes, it is. Yes, Tamara. The dates are, so here is the thing, it's a day event. We're gonna be there December 7th, because we have a lot of things to talk about, but it's doable. We've done it before and we're gonna do it again and again and again and again. But it's gonna be in the morning to the evening. So we're gonna serve refreshment, we're gonna take break, we're gonna network in the middle. Again, we have a system how we do it. But yeah, all of these things are gonna take place on the 7th of December in Houston, Texas. All right. So that question was from who? That's a great one. And also, guys, I have September mentorship was one of the best session or courts that I've had ever. It was really, really good that I had to put that class as a I had to put that training as a course or a program. So for those of you that can't make it to Houston, or that is just looking for true course, true return on investment, I promise you, is that program that is for $500. I don't know why I left it at $500, but if you're looking for all the services that we've been talking about, looking for not just the services I dropped. If you are in my September, put it in a comment. I dropped for 5 weeks. We were bawling. So that is the program that I chose out of my mentorship that I've been having, out of the core. September is the one that is the best so far. And I've put it together as a training for you. So if you're looking to invest and you're looking for where to put your money, go and get that training. It is the one, yes, the $500 course you will get banks and load. The difference is that it doesn't have some things that I throw. You won't get the trainer, you won't get the lead, you won't get access to some of the free courses, because Houston has all those things. It's a difference of $100. You also get to network. So both are good depending on your situation, depending on the route that you want to go. If you're able to come, if you're free, come to Houston. It's me. I'm the one delivering, right? You can get to ask all these things and you'll get it. But if you can't make it to Houston for a very tangible reason, not just for any reason, you want to go get that $500. And it's just within the same range. I didn't ask for too much because, again, these are all great deal. Okay, great deal. I love you guys. I do have to go. It's what? It's an hour and what now? So because again, this is all recorded. I want people to be able to catch up later when they can. So let me know if you guys want us to hang out again doing this. But it's really it's a pleasure. Thank you all so much. So I hope I covered all the questions. I can't see, but yeah, thank you all so much and have a great night. Thank you, Shanta. How do I end this? Okay, right here.